Oh, here we go. So when I converted my house to all electric a couple years ago, one of the things I had to do was take out the gas furnaces and put in 2 electric furnaces. I did the one upstairs, just the one in the basement for the basement and the first floor. So I cut out the pipes, the main stack, and the old return, clean it up. And I got the electric in place temporarily. And a bunch of research. Talked to the technicians for about a week, figuring out how to get it to work. I had to download the app and everything. Nonetheless, I was going off all of the instructions and the directions. I think that was a split terminal or something that I thought I could use and only have to use 2 wires. There's a 50 and a 60 amp breaker. So that 2-wired split breaker, that thing didn't work. Ended up having to come with 4 sets of 8-gauge wire. That's 8 gauge, by the way. And then a circuit board give me a little trouble. You know, I keep the kids involved. Come upstairs, hook up the Ecobee thermostat. Come back downstairs, get the thermostat wires in. Back up. Yeah, I got the whole house tore up. It's sad, but I'm getting it together. Back downstairs 2 years ago. I think she was, 4. Nonetheless, that is the heating element. Bought the wrong one. I think I had 15 kilowatt. I needed 20 kilowatt for the furnace I had. That was the old one I had from the other furnace I put in, electric furnace. I thought it could work, but it didn't. So I had to get the 20 kilowatt. But you see, I keep the instructions with me. I have to keep reading. Like I said, it took me like a week or 2. I finally got it working. Then it was time to get the return going, because at that point, I just had to sit on them buckets with a gap underneath with the filter and sucking the air it could. Built my own return box, my second one. Bought me some sheet metal. I used some angle brackets because I knew the weight of the furnace had to sit on top. So just the sheet metal one can hold it. I think I saw somebody do it one time, and that's all I need to see. Bought the little bender. Looking good in the neighborhood. I needed 2 returns. Well, I wanted 2 returns. One to pull from the first floor and one to pull from the basement. That box looking good. I was excited when I make my stuff look good. And I ain't never done it before, really. Got it in position. Got the return box and the furnace all tied in as one. And then I cut I don't know the names of this stuff. I don't do HVAC except for myself and at my own house. Well, I think it's a flume or whatever. Anyway, I cut that to angle back towards the top of the furnace. I should have had the furnace come a little bit forward. Anyway, some paste on my joints and some tape, depending on the joint. I like the tape on the flat joints and then the paste on the inside corner. So then it was time to pull from the first floor. This one got a little hectic. So that soffit already has a supply trunk in it. So I had to go behind it. So I ended up going with 6 by 20 or 8 by 20. I bought all the pieces from Menards. Cut open the wall, took out the old return. That was only for the basement, and pow. That's how I was coming. I had to cut through the floor upstairs. End up running right into the joist and electrical pipe. Cut around that nice and neat. And then get my trunk connected. Miss me on the terms, I don't know. I don't do HVAC. I just figured I could do it if somebody else can do it. Not too bad. Then it's time to finish up the electrical. I had the wires sitting there for about 2 years like that. This is over a course of 2 years, by the way. This ain't no week or no month. This is my house, so it's hard to work on your own projects at home when you do the work yourself. Nonetheless, I cut some brick out to get this pipe through, and I'm going to add another 6-inch to feed the kitchen upstairs in the back. Nonetheless, so the door had the vent on it, top and bottom. The one on the bottom was like 14 by 14. I caught myself angling up this little section right here to catch the vent on the door, but I ended up blocking the filter. Long story short, I took that off because this whole back of the basement area will now be storage instead of the kitchen for the Airbnb. So I thought I was doing something. It was looking good, but that blocks the filter. I thought I was going to end up screwing it off on and off to get the filter on, but like I said, I'm taking that off because I don't need the door no more, because that's going to be storage, the whole area, and not just kitchen that's in the back there. Nonetheless, this is the brick removal. A couple pieces of brick to get the 6-inch duct that I want to add to the back kitchen upstairs. The one that's there already is feeding the kitchen downstairs, and I tapped in off of that to feed one of the vents upstairs. The old copper pipe was baseboard heaters. It was a boiler when I first got there. Then I went to gas furnace, and then now I'm here at electric. And so this was a couple of days ago, finally finishing up the wires that were hanging all over the basement floor, getting them in 3/4-inch pipe. I looked it up. It was 6, you can get up to 6 wires, 6 8-gauge pipe, 6 8-gauge wires, 6 8-gauge wires in a 3/4-inch pipe. Nonetheless, you see the bin. I was trying to show you the bin. Made it all the way over to the panel. That's one bin right there from where the wire's hanging over to the panel. I got it tucked in there. I had to extend the neutral because I wasn't re-pulling that with one of those shrink wrap clamps. And my 3/4 connected. A bunch of connectors I will bend and cut off what I don't need. I'm kind of self-taught on bending the pipe. Nonetheless, made it over into the panel. Get my 50 and 60 connected. Trying to make it look neat. Look like I know what I was doing. Looking good in the neighborhood. Now I need to do the heat pumps. The 2 heat pumps.